wasn't gonna film, but I said, you know, maybe I'd film part of this. So watching the channel Homestead Heart, they had ordered onion sets. I've never ordered onion sets before, and they ordered like 2,000. I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot of onions. But so for $13 and some change with free shipping, I got the sampler bunch, which is 3 different kinds. There's a red, a white, and the only one I remember the name is the Walla Walla. So that's a sweet. I didn't really want the sweet onions, but so I'd ordered these on Friday or Thursday night. They called me Friday morning. They had a question on my order. Looks like they shipped out Friday night, and they arrived in the mail Monday morning. So that was pretty good. So I had these for 2 days, and I'm like, you know what, let me get these out. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, even though as sunny as it is, 100% chance of rain tomorrow. So anyways, there's 3 different types. There's your red ones, and I'm sure there's a sticker or some kind of tag in here somewhere. And then the only thing that I've done is I've prepped 2 grow bags. Just really, I'm digging the potting mix out of the existing buckets. I don't plan on buying more potting mix. I spent enough on potting mix filling all the buckets last year. And then I kind of follow the process that gardening with Leon suggests. So here's the Sustain 464. You can get it on Amazon. Get a bigger bag. Watch when there's a ridiculous price and there's normal price. So normally if it's sold by Amazon, it's going to be a reasonable price. So I have a giant bag in the garage, and I just keep feeding this little bag. So this is 464. That's your 3 numbers, and this a phosphorus, and I forget what the other 2 things are. But anyways, so that's 464. Slow release fertilizer. So it's basically it's either turkey and chicken or chicken and turkey between feathers and poop. So it has a good, nice fragrance to it. In a big bucket, like those totes or the 55-gallon drums that are cut in half, you put about a half a cup of the Sustain in there and a quarter cup of the sea mineral, which is hiding over here. So the sea mineral is evaporated seawater. It's supposed to be 90 trace minerals, and you put a quarter cup. This is a little pricey. Again, get the bigger bag on Amazon. It'll last you for a few years depending on how much growing you're doing. And then cheap set of measuring cups from the dollar store, because you obviously don't want to mix that with your household stuff. So anyways, I prep the grow bags on the end, and so I'm going to grab some of these onions, and I guess the instructions say no more than an inch and about 4 inches apart if you want them to grow to full size, or 2 inches if you plan to harvest them as green onions. So that's the plan for this morning on my break from work, and then back inside until this afternoon. The only other thing that's going on for this midweek update is the lettuces are starting to grow a little bit, starting to get above the troughs, looking really healthy. I've got to do something about the grasshoppers. I scooted the couple that were here out. I guess praying mantis is one way to get rid of grasshoppers, but I don't have any green in here to sustain them. There's one of those little dirt bags right there. Looks like they took out another tomato plant, and then I just left the other 2 there. I haven't gone in and taken these out yet. So that's really it for updates. Hopefully, I got a 4-day weekend this weekend. Gonna redo some of the plumbing for the get rid of the drip line that we've been talking about and go to PVC, but I need to test that out before I gut everything. Other than that, I need to get these onions in the ground and or in the dirt. You know what I meant. And that's it for part 1. Well, how's that for flooding? We had pretty crazy rain last night. I just shut the pump off because it was basically started sounding like a second dry, which is not great for the life of the pump. I've got some errands to do this morning, so it looks like I'm going to come back in and, you know, suck all the water out. It's just incredible the amount of drainage, the way my backyard is sloped, and what it actually does to this tote. Because you got to figure, when that tote's full, that's a 27-gallon tote. So there's a good 23, 24 gallons-ish in there at all times. And then, you know, the power of water, it can make it float. And basically it would have seeped out the back and got everything soaking wet out there. And, you know, feeding the grass with hydroponics, which we don't want to do because it just grows like a weed. But anyway, so that looks like that's what I'm doing when I get back today. Really like to get to a point where I'm not using the reservoir tote. So hopefully, as I've talked about, is getting the plumbing down with the PVC pipe and going to the grow bags, getting rid of the buckets. I won't have to have the reservoir. Then I can just take the pump that's in there, change it from a submersible to an inline pump, and just you know, suck it straight out of the big tote outside, and can eliminate this whole problem. We'll see if we get there this year or not. Not that anybody cares, but I just got a small package of seeds in from Baker Creek. But their packaging is just, it's amazing. Just the pictures that they put on here. So I got some small or different lettuces to try out in the I guess we'll call it the grow tubes or the fence post, whatever you want to call it. But these looked interesting. They said they are Richmond green apple cucumbers. So they're supposed to be kind of crisp and just something different. So I figured, why not? This is a bonus one. It says, you know, if you order, I think it's January, February, they give you free seeds. So, you know, no big deal. This one is just a generic envelope that they have. So I got some Tom Thumb lettuce. So it's just some small things. I figured the smaller ones would grow better. But check out this Tongues of Fire bean. It's supposed to have all these crazy red stripes, striations, marks, whatever you want to call it. So those are going to go in. I started doing some seeds here at the kitchen table. So actually here, let me click this button. Hey, look at that. A bunch of the seeds in the Oasis Grow Cubes aren't doing that well. They sprouted, great. Put them in some dirt, and they seem to be stunted. So I am starting, we'll call it the backup plan. So I've got the Bobcat tomatoes. So I've got, well, row 5, so there's 10. Then I got the Juliet grape, rattlesnake, diva, dragon tongue. I'm going to add in these tongues of fire, those green apple cucumbers, and a couple other things, and get those started in dirt as a backup plan. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Sunday, Valentine's Day, the 14th. Yeah, it's 4:30, 5 o'clock. There's a lovely gray sky. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow. This is not what California is supposed to be like, but it is what it is this time of year. So, got the rest of the onions put into one of the tubs. Got onions everywhere. Got them all planted. Nothing really exciting going on out here. We've got some radishes are poking their way out. Nothing going on there. That's just weeds in the different buckets. Do have some carrots and some broccoli rabe poking their way through in these. Nothing really eventful yet. That's really all that's going on the outside of the world. Got a few strawberry runners in there, still trying to take root. And the ones that did start in the dirt, this one actually looks pretty decent. It Got a couple tails hanging out there, so it did their job. I just left them connected to the mother plant, buried the runner in the dirt, left them out there for 2 weeks, and they started rooting. Where the other ones from before, they are going a lot slower, but you know, they are starting to root. You can kind of see them in there. The camera's picking it up. Other than that, nothing overly eventful. You see all the lettuces getting bigger. The weather's been kind of in and out, but doing pretty well. I was just noticing there's a couple over here that either they died out or might have a grasshopper issue. Still trying to get rid of those darn things. We'll see what happens. These are cilantro. These couple are doing real well. That's not great, but it's not dying either. Everything's just doing their thing. If the weather was a little more consistent, probably get things would be growing a little faster. But it is what it is. I think I talked about one of the earlier splices. So lost another tomato plant. Something's eating them. These are not doing as well as they should. Now I started those, I think I talked about before, I started them in the Oasis cubes. And they should be significantly taller, even with the way the weather has been. And then, as I talked about, I think in one of the earlier splices, some of these are doing okay. These are all peppers, but they're pretty runty as old as they are, and none of the beans they're not doing beans. The beans and the snap peas are not doing real well. That long strip is potato Clancy or something like that. Anyways, not overly impressed with how these are doing. Or the cucumbers. I mean, look at this thing. It just kind of crawled out instead of the roots going down. But we'll see what happens. So I started with contingency plan. So again, one of the other splices. So I've got 2 full rows of the Bobcats, Juliet grape tomatoes, then rattlesnake beans, diva cucumbers, dragon beans, green apple cucumbers. I think there is like dragon's tongue, or anyways, whatever. It's a bean. Cherry tomatoes. And I actually forgot what the last one was, and I wrote it down too. I'm like, oh, you better write down, you forget. And then, so what I've got going on here is pea pods, Brussels sprouts, yum peppers, Big Berthas, Cal Sweet, that's watermelon, Chinese long bean, hot cherry peppers, mucho nachos, pepperoncinis, banana peppers, cayenne peppers, Chinese 5-color, and some Swiss chard. So I went old school, hit the dirt, and just kind of doing a backup plan because the ones in the Oasis cubes aren't doing that great. Other than that, going to smush all the videos together. So that's all the updates for this week. And other than that, just plugging along.